I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, welcome to the Magician's After Show on AfterBuzz TV. We're talking season 5, episode 12, The Balls, which, you know, I like that. I like that title. I'm Adrienne Snow, and with me I have Stephanie Sabra. Hey, girl.
Hey, I missed you guys last week.
Yeah, no, it's all good. We've been kind of like jumping all over the place, and then a pandemic.
I know. It's so hard, but at least this show was finished before anything happened, so we're gonna get
Yeah, the show's done. Like, this is the second to last episode ever, so let's get into it. I know, I'm so bummed, but what were your first thoughts on the show?
I loved this episode. I thought it was they did such a good job balancing the musical aspects, but then really, really serious undertones, or not even undertones, but Alice's storyline and Penny's storyline. It was really, really deep, but it was so good. I loved it. I think it was my favorite of the season, actually.
Nice. Yeah, you know, I have a complicated relationship with the musical episodes, and that I don't particularly like them, but I did enjoy this episode, and I did enjoy that Alice kind of took the lead in singing this season. You know, last year it was more focused on Katie, which is cool and all. I don't know if I necessarily get down with like her singing style, but just to kind of have it play into that, and the way they incorporated the music is always fun to see. So I enjoyed them using it as a device to basically immobilize people who would get in their way of their scheme.
Adrienne, I don't think anyone is shocked by the idea that Adrienne does not like a musical episode.
I love musicals. I do not like musical episodes. It's so weird.
I get you. I respect that. I don't love them either. I think The Magicians does a really good job of doing them, though.
Yeah, they do. They do a good job of doing them. I would never take that away from them. But whenever someone's like I heard Riverdale does musical episodes, and I'm like, no, I don't want to I don't want to engage in that. But I, you know, at the same time, I love this show so much. So it's not like it's a point against it for them doing a musical episode, and they do it really well. But let's go ahead into Penny and Julia. So we got to get like finally a little bit of parental backstory with Penny, which we haven't really been getting.
Oh, and what a shame.
Yeah. And his relationship with his mom, and you know, this isn't actually Penny's mom, because this is Penny 40's mom, and she's encountering Penny 23. So like, she doesn't even realize that her actual son from this universe is dead, you know, which is a whole nother episode that I wish we would have, but we're not going to get. But just, well, how did you feel about him finally, you know, encountering his mom and seeing like what the issue really was in terms of his power in her?
I thought it was heartbreaking. Penny definitely has the dopest power, but it's the most sabotaging out of all their abilities. His is definitely the one that just screws up his life and everyone in it.
Mm-hmm.
But it solidified. Penny's always been the most interesting character to me, and I still he could have a standalone show that comes after this where we really explore the beginnings of Penny. I know they won't do it, but I would love it. The beginnings of Penny and him developing his time traveler skills, and then even now what he does. But yeah, I loved it. It was sad though.
It was sad. It was sad to kind of realize that him just being near his mother literally drove her insane. Like, parents always joke that the kids drive them insane, but Penny literally drives his mother to insanity. And I kind of wish that they had more time to flesh what that is and what's happening to her. Because even when he's no longer tied to being a traveler, she can still hear the voices. And I'm like, well, like, give me one more episode where we just talk about what it means to be a traveler. And I know that they're psychic, but how does it tie into being a mom? You know, it's just, I feel like Penny and Elliot have such interesting backgrounds, and I feel like they've been the least explored in service of Quentin in Julia and Alice. And that's kind of a bummer. And like Margot, we actually know nothing about Margot's backstory.
Nothing. And she is my favorite character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to know that we're losing out on that kind of sucks. But at the same time, I'm so happy that we kind of got to see Penny just truly kind of, I don't know, acknowledge, what fatherhood is and like how this is going to impact Julia and them trying to figure out a way to keep her sane. But also, will it even happen to Julia? Because Julia's a magician, whereas Penny's mom is not. And so who knows?
I loved the way I feel Julia's writing was so it was so well written, because oftentimes with characters there was a scene with her and Penny's mom where she like really, really urged her to let her help. And I almost had this moment where like, I was like, are they going to just let Julia just not care and give up on it? But she didn't, even though she didn't end up getting what she wanted. I just feel like Julia's character has matured so much in the best way. And even how she was talking to Penny in comparison to the first episode of the season, she was just way less annoying and a real life character, like someone that is really, really being respectful to Penny in the situation.
Yeah, I think Magicians has done a really good job of allowing their characters to grow up. I think sometimes I get frustrated when I'm watching a TV show and like Weeds, Nancy in 15 years never grew up.
Yeah.
And it was like, how is that possible? How have you not grown up? So for them to like within the span of 5-6 years grow up so much and change as people, I think that's just more truthful in storytelling, because you are different between 24 and 29. You have similarities, but you've learned so much and gone through so much. So I appreciate that Julia's definitely grown a lot since season 1, where she was so annoying, just so annoying.
Yeah.
Like the second to last episode. But yeah, but any other final thoughts on Penny and Julia before we move on to the main?
I hope that they can I hope in this journey to find a solution for the problem with the baby and Julia's connection, they also find a way to give Penny back his full abilities and maybe understand it a little bit more. And then maybe the mom will come around. I would love to see that.
Yeah. If they can do all of that in the 45 minutes we have next week, that would be great. You never know though. They can pull it off. But also with that said, thank you guys so much for tuning in during the quarantine months, maybe years of AfterBuzz TV. As always, we appreciate it and we love when you guys tune in and comment on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, LiveJournal if you still have it. So thank you so much for being a part of AfterBuzz and making us the ESPN of TV Talk. As always, please subscribe, please rate on iTunes, comment on iTunes. We love to hear from you guys. All right, so now the gang is again coming up with I love when they decide to do a heist. I think those are some of my favorite episodes. So the fact that the musical episode came together with the heist episode probably was for the benefit of me, because I was like, well, at least I'm getting my heist no matter what.
Yes.
So we have them going after the world seed, and just that opening shot of Marina breaking down like what went wrong with the original heist. I just love those like weird flashback shots that they do. And how do you feel about that? Just kind of getting back to what really happened during the original heist.
Yeah, I liked that, because even though that episode was really good and I felt fulfilled, there was some questions still, and that answered it for sure. Especially her entire MO. That wasn't really clear. Like, what the heck did she want? But
Yeah.
I did love to see the new her or who she was acting to be. And I didn't trust her at first, and then I was like, no, I feel like she's a straight shooter. If she wasn't really trying to be like that, she wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. No, it was nice to see like the return to old Marina, but also slightly changed, because I think that having her, pretty much all the people that she hired to do this original heist killed off will affect you, you know, like to have it go so horribly wrong. So it's kind of like a blend of old Marina and new Marina in this version we're encountering now, where she's even, you know, regretfully willing to be a part of the musical because she has to, but she didn't, you know, walk away from it and say, this is stupid. I'm not going to oh my God, I can't think of the word.
Wait, now I can't either.
Oh no.
Maestro?
Not the maestro,
Maestro.
oh, I wrote it down and now I can't find
Conductor?
Conductor, there we go. I'm like, contender? I'm like, no, it's not contender. See, this is what happens when you have wine. But it was nice to just kind of see that they brought her full circle from the woman who straight up killed Katie's mom to this woman who is still not perfect, but is attempting to make amends for her past, you know, and attempting to find a way into the middle of not being all bad, even if she can't be all good.
Yeah, the amount of energy it takes to be Marina, you can't make that last your whole life. I think you have to chill out at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing of like watching even her character change and get older and wiser. It was nice to see, but I know that people aren't here just to hear us talk about Marina and her growth. What we're really here to talk about is Sir Effingham coming in and with his shotgun and Cruel to Be Kind and the full scale musical introduction to this episode where we get to see the condo in full effect. How did you feel about that? Just like the introduction of the musical through him.
It was so good. Billie Jean Girl made a great point in the chat right now. She said, I got so happy when I heard Sean Maguire. He missed out being in the musical for Once Upon a Time. I totally forgot that, but it's true. As soon as he started singing, I was like, this is fun. I hate this character, a misogynist piece of shit, but I love this.
Control your spinsters. I'm like, what?
Oh.
But it was such a great way to kind of bring everyone into it. And also for it to be, for us to understand that it's going to be the type of musical where they're very much self-aware that they're singing and even maybe resentful about it, but still going to do it, you know, to full effect. So I liked that as everyone was singing, you could see them making faces and frowning and rolling their eyes at him, but still doing it, which I was like, oh, I love that self-awareness. Because sometimes my least favorite thing about musicals is when people break out into song and it's supposed to just be accepted. And like, no, people would freak out. like people would be weirded out. Especially when
how do you all have a coordinated dance moves?
Yeah. So just for them to be like, yeah, this is weird and I don't want to do this. I appreciated that. Even though I don't think Penny's ever been a part of a single musical episode. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure
wasn't in last season's
and not the season before. Maybe the season before for chorus.
I think he was. Yeah, I think he has been. Let us know in the chat if we're wrong.
Yeah, I think maybe just 1 out of 4.
Hey guys, this is Brianna in the booth. He was in the one with David Bowie song, the David Bowie lead song, because he was very reluctant that he was in that one.
I love it.
Yes, there we go. I was like, I know there was one. I feel like because there's been one moment where he was like reluctant or not wanting to sing, and so, but yeah. Anyways, I want more Penny singing. Not really.
Me too.
No. So through this musical, we realized that because they have the conductor spell, if they become too emotional, that they will break out into song. So they decide to do basically the spell where they take all their emotions. I can't think of the actual term they used for it. If you know it in the chat, please let me know. But they decide to the spell that keeps all of their emotions bottled up, literally, and to pull off the heist. So just to kind of jump ahead, so because I want to touch on this and then go back, when we got the explanation of why the couple wanted the royalty, like How did you feel about it?
Yo, I was like, these, excuse my language, motherfuckers chopped off our girl Alice's fingers because you couldn't conceive on this land. That is the most I mean, it's kind of on par with but that's sociopathic and selfish beyond belief. And it's like, I think Finn had the perfect reaction. Like, I wasn't expecting that. And maybe you guys have a little bit more humanity than I thought, but you guys would be the worst parents ever because you're awful human beings.
Yeah. Well, one, they're kind of, underwritten characters. So I don't know these people. It's okay. It's the first time we're encountering the woman of the couple. And I'm like, who are these people? Why am I supposed to care? Why are they so vicious? I kind of like, I'm like, can we just stick to Rupert? Like, can we just have Rupert Chatwin? Can we get the couple in and out very quickly? Because they just like don't really serve a purpose for me in terms of the storytelling. I get that they need to have a barrier to them being able to make a new Fillory, but also they're just so underdeveloped that when they were like, it's because we want children. I'm like, well, then take your asses to Fillory then. Like, you could have solved all this. Like, if you had just gone to actual Fillory instead of having to be these horrible people that you are.
And chopping off Alice's fingers.
Yeah. And like, the reason why you can't have kids is because so many people hate you on Earth. I'm like, well, then maybe think about your life choices.
Also, adopt. What?
True. That's true. That's so true. In any case, I didn't particularly like their reasoning behind needing the world seat and all of the scheming they were doing to get it. But because of their scheming, we do get Zelda and everyone working together to infiltrate the Nave Hotel. So how did you feel about just the setup of the Nave Hotel and how everything worked? And it's basically like, you have to be a good person with no ill intentions to even step foot there.
I love that. It's so Magicians and so layered in only a world that they have built because it's convenient for the other side of the other end of things. But I thought it was really fun. I love Zelda being incorporated in the episodes, and I thought that Marina and her girlfriend, that whole conversation, I thought each side of things was really, really interesting. Like with Elliot and the Elliot situation, and then with Marina.
Yeah, it was we've heard Marina talk of this girlfriend. Like, every single version of Marina has had this girlfriend essentially. And so to kind of see that blow up and see that, I kind of sided with Marina in terms of, it's like, if you can't accept like that this is just me, this is who I am, then fuck off. I'm like, I mean, she's not wrong. Marina's not the best person on earth.
I agree. I felt that exact way where I was like, yeah, Marina's messed up, but she's clearly really, really trying, and you're not even listening to hear what she has to say. Yeah. And you might be fed up, but if you're so sorry. If you're so fed up where you can't even listen to someone, then you probably shouldn't be with that person anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. If you can't take the time, then what's the point? And so I, high and by to Marina's girlfriend, because it's just kind of like, well, it doesn't seem like, I think the amount of compromises that Marina would have to make to be with her just didn't make the relationship worth it. And Marina should just be with somebody who's more like her, who wants to scheme, who wants to, be bad. She could be the next couple, the way she goes. So maybe not without cutting off people's fingers and stuff, but in any case, it's just to kind of have that fully fleshed out, and then Zelda kind of playing second fiddle to that. And I love her, like, oh no, but thank you, when she's like, you're screwing this hot librarian. I was like,
that was Zelda. Such a Zelda response.
Yeah. Like, so coy, but also honored.
Yeah.
But then we also do have just like everything else going on with our main characters. And we have that beautiful moment where Alice kind of has a breakdown because her emotions get the best of her, and she sings the bellboy into submission. And Elliot, understanding even in like his no emotional state that he needs to have a bit of emotion to connect with her, and they have that really beautiful duet where they just kind of sing their feelings out.
I thought it was so beautiful because it was really interesting the way Alice expressed the moment of when the guy cut off her hands, because it is similar. It is that similar feeling of helplessness and worthlessness that I'm sure Julia faced. And I thought that it was a really redeeming moment for her to speak out her feelings and kind of talk out a feeling I think a lot of victims in all senses feel. And then for Elliot, who's equally gone through awful things and been a victim himself, was the best person to hear her and understand her and empathize with her.
Yeah, I think they're so unified. I mean, in general, I think everyone in the cast and in the characters are unified, but Elliot and Alice especially have kind of gone through this really traumatic year together. So of course he'd be the one who can understand. And for Alice to lose Quentin and then to feel so powerless when she loses her ability to cast magic, it made sense that Elliot would be the one who would be the most understanding and there for her. And also, they had a really hot kiss. Did you see that?
Yes.
I was like, they held on longer than I would have expected.
No, I definitely peeped that. That was way longer than they needed to.
Yeah. Just, I don't know. I would be here for that. Just saying.
Me
just
too.
Saying. So, but overall, just like that, the execution of that song and everything was beautiful. And then we finally feel like that they're going to get away with it. They got the world seed. They're heading out. And evil Fogg.
Relentless.
I'm like, this is not how I want Dean Fogg to go out. I want Dean Fogg to be like my dude. And
the Dean. I agree completely. I don't like this guy. Now he's in the ethereal realm, so maybe we will. I don't know.
Maybe we'll see a face-off between Good Dean and Evil Dean in the ethereal. But, or if one comes back, we're not going to know which is which. It'll be like that episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark with the twin sisters, Tia and Tamara. If you're old enough to remember, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sister. Classic.
Chameleon episode, yo. It was no joke. I still have nightmares about it. But in any case, he essentially foils everything. And honestly, there was so much going on. I think I started to get confused and my computer started to freeze up. But after they're finally able to get rid of the Dean, they still need to escape with the world seed, right?
Yeah.
They have it. Oh, right. And then Fen. She was the MVP of this episode in so many ways. How did you feel about just like what they did with her and her being the most knowledgeable?
Oh my gosh, it was the best. Even from the beginning when she was talking to what's the character that Penny got brought back? Basically about when good guys are so into saving something that they sometimes start acting like the bad guys because they're not really thinking through with their plans.
Oh, with Hyman last episode?
Yeah. No, was it last episode? Yeah, maybe it was last episode. So, but I just playing off from that, I feel like that sprouted to what she did this episode, which was kind of take as much into her hands as she could. And I love the ending part when she's like, it's in a moist, warm, humid space. And everyone's like, shit.
I mean, I knew immediately the moment that she was like, I have it. And they were like, who has it? She's like, I have it. It's safe. And I was like, oh my God, I know exactly where she put it. Because humans are 98.6 degrees. And it was the appropriate size to fit where she was talking.
Yeah, definitely. In short, thank you for coming to Adrian's TED Talk.
Hey, I mean, it's a nice little pocket if you got it. But anyways, we we get them out, and I feel like I'm flying through this episode. So if I need to slow down, please let me know. We get them out, and they finally have their group song where they sing. Why am I crazy? What is this?
Oh, I don't know.
I want to be sedated. There we
Yeah.
go. How do we feel about that?
I thought they acted it so well, because even Penny's face when he was like, "Come on," or it was Elliot saying it, "Come on," they were still singing. And I love, because you could tell it was the same thing, that self-awareness where it's like they don't want to be singing. They're in a freaking heist, but they have to.
They're like fighting for their lives, but they have to sing "I Want to Be Sedated." And just that moment of Josh trying to be as cool as Katie and then epically failing and falling on his face. Beautiful, because that's exactly what would happen in real life. And I appreciated that. So they escape through song of "I Want to Be Sedated." And we get the cherry on the top of who Alice called to come save her with "Ho, ho, ho, motherfuckers." I'm like, yes, finally call back to Santa Claus.
That was the best, because when we were first introduced to Santa Claus, even to the end, I was like, is he a good guy or a bad guy? Is he going to come back and be Krampus? Like, I didn't know what was going to happen with him. And I thought that the callback with him in particular with this episode and Alice's dealing with her emotions and going through grief and all the things that have happened to her, to have that happen was so fun. I was like so here for it.
Because it's like, who will come save you? And he clearly does think so highly of Alice, that to have him come back and save everyone, it was just perfect. And I love that, they really did get away with it, and they can possibly actually save Fillory. And they also just did an amazing job of kind of clarifying some of the emotional stakes that people are going through in the episode at the same time. And everybody got to sing a song. I mean, that's just wonderful writing. And I'm so sad that this is the last season. I was realizing, I was like, damn, what a sad way to go out with like a pandemic and and everyone's all over the place. It would have been nice to have like one good cheers for magicians in studio.
I know. But we'll have to, and Ty will be back next week with us for the finale.
Yeah. So, oh my God, me and Ty have been doing this since we were children. It feels like 5 years. So yeah.
Crazy.
We've come a long way, you guys. All right. Well, any final thoughts on this episode before predictions?
No, I thought it was a really good episode. I just don't know how the heck they're going to wrap it all together by next episode.
Yeah. Finale. I want them to get like a 2-hour finale, but I know they're not going to get that. So
I wish.
Right? All right. Well, let's go into predictions then. What are your thoughts for the final episode ever of The Magicians?
Okay, I have so much. I think, like what I said, I want to have Plum tie in with Penny, and that tie in with the baby and Penny's mom, and have that be a happy solution, because that man and Julia have been effed every single season. I just want them to have a good ending if this is going to be the end. And I think that maybe we'll get Quentin now that we have that connection to the underworld, and that's been portrayed already. I think maybe we might get a Quentin appearance for the finale. I don't know. And I think that Alice and Elliot, I don't know, maybe something more there.
Who knows? Oh my gosh. I don't even know. I think Julia and Penny will find a way to sever the tie so that Julia can be sane around her child. I think Elliot and Margot and Alice might stay on the new Fillory to help build it up. I think Katie will probably either die or go become a librarian, and that way she can go be with P40. And I think Q maybe might make a small cameo at the end. If they might also kill Alice, and if they kill Alice, then maybe Q will make a cameo at the end. or Elliot to welcome them into the afterlife. Okay.
Those are good.
None of that shit's gonna happen. But those are my predictions so far. I don't know. Like, how do you?
Those are good. I have no idea how to predict it because there's just so many. There's going to be things that aren't answered or finished, and I don't know how they're gonna choose.
Yeah. Well, we'll see for next episode. Stephanie, where can they follow you?
You can follow me all over social media at Steph Sabraw, Sabraw. What about you, Adrian?
I'm Adrian Snow. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Adrian Snow, and you can catch me on the Outlander After Show on Sundays at 8. All right.
Go. I'll see you next week.
Yes, this wraps up the penultimate episode of the Magicians After Show on AfterBuzz TV. Oh my God, it's over, you guys. But we will, right before then, we will see you next week.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.